He shouldn't a Euros trade T have said it. Not to her. Not like that. But after 21 days trapped on a deserted island, watching hope fade a little more each morning, the words slipped out before Evan Cole could stop them. A circumflex Euros O, if the rescue boat comes tomorrow a Euros Ia, Euros trade am not leaving without you. Lena Hartwell froze, the most powerful woman he Euros trade D ever known, the billionaire CEO whose approval could move entire departments, the woman he used to avoid making eye contact with in the elevator. Now she stood barefoot in the sand, hair tangled by salt and wind, staring at him like he had just said something dangerous. A circumflex Euros O you Euros trade D stay? She asked quietly, not as a boss, not as a CEO, just as Lena. Evan swallowed. The ocean rolled behind them, dark and endless. A circumflex Euros O my daughter is waiting for me, he said. A circumflex Euros O so no a Euros, I want a Euros trade T stay forever. Her expression tightened. A circumflex Euros O but if something happens to you, he continued slowly, a circumflex Euros O if rescue comes, and you can't a Euros trade T make it to that boat a Euros then I stay. The wind carried the smoke from their signal fire between them. For a long moment she said nothing. Then Lena looked out at the empty horizon and whispered something that made Ivana Euros trade's chest tighten. A circumflex Euros O then, I guess we both need to survive. A circumflex Euros. Because 3 weeks earlier, when their plane tore apart over the Pacifica Euros, survival had stopped caring about titles. The first thing Evan remembered was fire, not warmth, not comfort, fire that wanted to eat him alive. Heat pressed against his face. Smoke clawed down his throat as his eyes snapped open. For a moment nothing made sense. The world was tilted sideways. Metal screamed somewhere behind him, something heavy crushed his left shoulder. Then memory crashed back like a wave, the flight, the conference in San Francisco, the promise he made to his daughter. A circumflex Euros O Monday night we build the volcano together, Maya had said over the phone. A circumflex Euros O deal, he told her. He had promised. Then the plane dropped. Not turbulence, a drop. Like the sky had simply let go of them. Evan tried to move and pain exploded down his arm. Something pinned his shoulder beneath twisted metal. He coughed hard, tasting blood and salt. A circumflex Euros O mea Euros. The name escaped his lips before he even realized he said it. His 8-year-old daughter. 3 years ago she had already buried her mother. If Evan died here too a Euros. The thought sent panic clawing through his chest. He forced himself to move again. The metal didn't a Euros trade T budge. Flames crept along the broken aisle. A circumflex Euros O help a Euros, he rasped. But the wreckage answered with silence. Then a voice cut through the smoke. A circumflex Euros O stop moving. Sharp, controlled, familiar. Evan turned his head slowly. Through the haze he saw her crawling toward him. Lena Hartwell, his CEO, the woman who ran a billion-dollar company like a battlefield general, except now her designer blouse was torn open at the sleeve. Blood ran down the side of her face from a deep cut across her forehead. Her perfectly controlled hair had fallen loose in dark strands. She looked nothing like the untouchable executive from the boardroom. She looked human. A circumflex Euros O can you feel your legs? She asked. Evan blinked through the smoke. A circumflex Euros O yes. A circumflex Euros O good. She planted both hands on the twisted metal crushing his shoulder. A circumflex Euros O when I lift this, you pull yourself out. The flames were getting closer. He stared at her. A circumflex Euros O you can't a Euros trade T lift that. Lena didn't a Euros trade T even look at him. A circumflex Euros O on 3. Her voice carried the same authority she used during corporate takeovers. A circumflex Euros O 1. A circumflex Euros. Metal groaned around them. A circumflex Euros O 2. A circumflex Euros. The fire snapped louder behind them. A circumflex Euros O 3. She lifted. For a moment Evan thought the wreckage would tear her arms off. but the metal shifted, just enough. He pulled himself free with a shout of pain, dragging his body across shattered glass. The instant he cleared it, Lena dropped the metal with a crash and grabbed his arm. A circumflex euros, oh, can you walk? A circumflex euros, oh yes. A circumflex euros, oh then move. A circumflex euros. They stumbled through the ruined cabin. Ivana Eurostrade's brain refused to process the scene around them. Seats ripped loose, smoke filling the air, bodies that were not Eurostrade moving. He forced his eyes forward. The plane had split open. Beyond the torn fuselage waited white sand and crashing waves. A circumflex euros, oh jump, Lena said. Evan looked down, 15 feet, with a ruined shoulder. Behind them something ignited with a roar. The explosion hit like a hammer. Heat and force hurled them out of the broken aircraft. Evan slammed into the sand shoulder first, and the world went white. He rolled instinctively, gasping. When his vision returned, Lena was already dragging him across the beach. A circumflex euros, oh water, she said. A circumflex euros, oh why euros, a circumflex euros. A circumflex euros, oh fuel explosion, debris. They hit the surf seconds later. Cold water swallowed them both. Evan fought the waves with one working arm while Lena pulled him forward. Together they struggled through the shallows until finally collapsing onto the sand far down the beach. For several minutes neither of them moved. The wreckage burned behind them. Smoke spiraled into the perfect blue sky. Evan forced himself to sit up. A circumflex euros, oh anyone else? He asked hoarsely. Lena stood slowly and scanned the beach. Suitcases. Seat cushions, pieces of metal, no people. After a long moment she shook her head. A circumflex euros, oh no. The words settled like a weight between them. 47 passengers had boarded that plane. Now there were 2. Evan stared at the ocean. A circumflex euros, oh my daughter euros. His voice cracked. A circumflex euros, oh she Eurostrade S8. Lena looked down at him. Something softened in her expression for just a moment. Then the CEO mask returned. A circumflex euros, oh then we survive, she said. She held out her hand. Evan hesitated. A week ago this woman controlled his career. Now she was the only other living person within thousands of miles. He took her hand. She pulled him to his feet. A circumflex euros, oh first rule, Lena said, already scanning the horizon. A circumflex euros, oh what? A circumflex euros, oh we stay calm. Evan followed her gaze. Endless ocean. No ships, no aircraft, just waves and jungle. For the first time since the crash of euros. He understood the truth. They were not Eurostrade waiting for rescue. They were stranded. And survival had just become a full-time job. But neither of them realized yet a euros. That surviving together would change far more than their chances of getting home. It would change everything they thought they knew about each other. And eventually a euros. It would force Lena Hartwell to ask Evan Cole a question no CEO should ever ask an employee. A question that would make walking away impossible. Evan didn't a Eurostrade notice the silence at first. After the crash, his ears were still ringing. His shoulder burned with every breath. The smell of smoke and fuel hung in the air like something alive. But slowly, as the fire behind them died down, the island became quiet. Too quiet. No engines, no voices, no rescue sirens. Just waves sliding onto the shore. Lena was the first to break the silence. A circumflex euros, oh your shoulder. Evan looked down. His arm hung awkwardly against his side. A circumflex euros, oh probably dislocated, he muttered. A circumflex euros, oh sit. He almost laughed. 3 days ago, if Lena Hartwell had told him to sit down in a meeting room, he would have obeyed instantly. Now she was standing barefoot in the sand with blood on her face and a torn blouse. And somehow the command still worked. Evan lowered himself onto the beach. Lena knelt in front of him. A circumflex euros, oh relax your arm. A circumflex euros, oh thought a Eurostrade not going to a euros. A circumflex euros. She moved fast. Her hand twisted his arm upward. Pop. White-hot pain shot through him like lightning. Evan gasped so hard the world tilted. Then suddenly a euros. Relief. His shoulder settled back into place. A circumflex euros, oh you dislocated it, she said calmly. A circumflex euros, oh you coulda euros trade v warned me. A circumflex euros, oh you woulda euros trade v tensed. He stared at her. A circumflex euros, oh you a euros trade v done that before. A circumflex euros, oh my father was an army field surgeon. A circumflex euros, she replied. A circumflex euros, oh, he made sure I knew basic trauma care before I turned 12. Evan blinked. The billionaire CEO who terrified entire boardrooms had once memorized battlefield first aid as a kid. A circumflex euros, oh you a euros trade re full of surprises, he said. She tore a strip from her ruined blouse and fashioned a sling. A circumflex euros, oh trust me, Lena muttered. A circumflex euros, oh I a euros trade am just getting started. They spent the next hour searching the beach. Not for survivors, they both knew better, but for supplies. The ocean had scattered debris everywhere. Suitcases, seat cushions, bits of twisted metal. Evan found the first useful thing buried in the sand. A sealed water bottle. He almost laughed when he saw it. A circumflex euros, oh jackpot. Lena walked over. A circumflex euros, oh how many? A circumflex euros, oh just one. A circumflex euros. She nodded. A circumflex euros, oh we split it. Evan twisted the cap open and hesitated. His throat felt like sandpaper, but he held the bottle out to her first. She stared at him. A circumflex euros, oh you found it. A circumflex euros. A circumflex euros, oh, and you pulled me out of a burning plane. Lena accepted the bottle and took a careful sip, then handed it back. A circumflex euros, oh half. Evan drank. It was the best water he euros trade D ever tasted. By late afternoon the sun had turned brutal. They gathered what little they could salvage: 4 water bottles, a lighter, 1 crushed protein bar, a tiny first aid kit. It wasn't a euros trade too much, but it was something. They sat beneath a crooked palm tree organizing their supplies. Lena studied the horizon. A circumflex euros, oh what a euros trade is the flight protocol for crashes like this? She asked. Evan shrugged. A circumflex euros, oh I did some reserve training years ago. A circumflex euros, oh then you know the search patterns. He hesitated. A circumflex euros, oh Thea euros trade LL search the flight path. A circumflex euros, oh, and we werena euros trade T on the flight path. He nodded slowly. The Captaina euros trade S voice echoed faintly in his memory. A circumflex euros, oh we euros trade readjusting course due to weather a euros. Lena read the realization on his face. A circumflex euros, oh how far off. A circumflex euros, oh could be hundreds of miles. A circumflex euros. The silence that followed felt heavier than the wreckage behind them. A circumflex euros, oh no one knows we euros trade here, Lena said quietly. A circumflex euros, oh not yet. A circumflex euros. She turned toward him. A circumflex euros, oh you are euros trade rethinking about your daughter again. He didn't a euros trade T answer. He didn't a euros trade T have to. Lena sighed. A circumflex euros, oh tell me about her. Evan blinked. A circumflex euros, oh what? A circumflex euros, oh your daughter. A circumflex euros, oh why? A circumflex euros, oh because if we euros trade we going to survive this, Lena said. A circumflex euros, oh need a reason. He stared out at the ocean. A circumflex euros, oh Maya. The name softened his voice immediately. A circumflex euros, oh she euros trade S8. A circumflex euros, oh what a euros trade S she like. A circumflex euros, oh curious. A small smile touched his lips. A circumflex euros, oh she asks questions about everything. A circumflex euros. A circumflex euros, oh like what? A circumflex euros. A circumflex euros. Oh, last week she asked if jellyfish have dreams. Lena huffed a quiet laugh. A circumflex euros. Oh, thought a euro strayed as oddly specific. A circumflex euros. Oh, she wants to be a marine biologist. Evan rubbed the back of his neck. A circumflex euros. Oh, she, euros strayed s building a volcano for a science project. A circumflex euros. Oh, and you promised to help. He nodded. A circumflex euros. Oh, she wouldn't a euro strayed t sleep last night because she was excited. Lena studied him carefully. A circumflex euros. Oh, thought a euro strayed s. Why you are euro strayed re not going to die here. Evan frowned. A circumflex euros. Oh, what? A circumflex euros. Oh, people with something waiting for them fight harder. She stood. A circumflex euros. Oh, we euro strayed re going to build a signal fire. The fire took an hour. Dry driftwood, palm fronds, seaweed for smoke. When Lena struck the lighter, the flame caught instantly. Orange fire climbed into the evening sky. They stood side by side watching it burn. A circumflex euros. Oh, if someone flies overhead a euros, Evan said. A circumflex euros. Oh, thea euro strayed LLC it, Lena finished. The sun dipped low. Darkness crept across the ocean. Evan felt exhaustion settle into his bones. They hadn't a euro strayed t slept in nearly 24 hours. A circumflex euros. Oh, shelter, Lena said. A circumflex euros. Oh, jungle. A circumflex euros. Oh, higher ground. They walked inland. The island swallowed them quickly. Palm trees gave way to thick jungle. The air turned humid and heavy. Branches scratched their arms as they pushed deeper inside. After 30 minutes they found it, a small volcanic rock overhang. Dry, hidden, defensible. A circumflex euros. Oh, eat a euro strayed LL work, Lena said. They gathered leaves for bedding, stacked wood for fire, organized their supplies carefully. By the time darkness fell completely a euros. They had something close to a home. Night on the island was louder than Evan expected. Insects buzzed, birds cried in the distance. The jungle breathed. They sat beside their small cooking fire. The protein bar lay between them. Lena broke it in half. A circumflex euros. Oh, dinner. Evan chewed slowly. It tasted like cardboard, but it was food. A circumflex euros. Oh, you are euro strayed re quiet. A circumflex euros. Lena said. A circumflex euros. Oh, I a euro strayed am thinking. A circumflex euros. Oh, about Maya again. He nodded. A circumflex euros. Oh, she probably thinks I a euro strayed am dead. A circumflex euros. Lena didn't a euro strayed t respond immediately. Instead she poked the fire with a stick. A circumflex euros. Oh, my father used to say something about survival, she said. A circumflex euros. Oh, what? A circumflex euros. Oh, hope is a dangerous thing. A circumflex euros. Oh, thought a euro strayed as comforting. She glanced at him. A circumflex euros. Oh, but stubborn people survive anyway. Evan smirked faintly. A circumflex euros. Oh, you calling me stubborn? A circumflex euros. Oh, extremely. A circumflex euros. Oh, good. He leaned back against the rock wall. A circumflex euros. Oh, because I a euro strayed am not dying on this island. Lena studied him. A circumflex euros. Oh, why? A circumflex euros. Oh, because my daughter believes I keep my promises. The fire crackled between them. Lena looked away quickly. A circumflex euros. Oh, then I guess we both have work to do. They took turns keeping watch that night. Evan woke halfway through the night to the sound of movement. Not waves, not wind, something in the jungle. He reached for the spear thea euros strayed d made earlier. A circumflex euros. Oh, Lena, he whispered. She woke instantly. A circumflex euros. Oh, what is it? A circumflex euros. A circumflex euros. Oh, listen. The rustling came again, closer. Both of them stood, weapons ready. The jungle watched them back. Then suddenly a euros. Silence, minutes passed. Nothing emerged. Finally, Lena lowered her weapon. A circumflex euros, oh probably an animal. A circumflex euros, oh probably. But neither of them believed it. They returned to the shelter. Sleep came slowly after that. Morning arrived with blazing sunlight. Day 2. Lena stretched and winced. A circumflex euros, oh my entire body hurts. A circumflex euros. A circumflex euros, oh welcome to island living. She stood. A circumflex euros, oh what a euros trade-s the plan. Evan grabbed the spear. A circumflex euros, oh food. A circumflex euros, oh good. Her stomach growled loudly. They headed back toward the beach. Schools of fish swam through the shallows. Evan stepped into the water carefully. He waited, then thrust the spear. Missed. Fish scattered instantly. Lena crossed her arms. A circumflex euros, oh you are euros trade re-aiming wrong. A circumflex euros, oh really. A circumflex euros. A circumflex euros, oh you are euros trade re-aiming where the fish is. A circumflex euros. A circumflex euros, oh and. A circumflex euros, oh you should aim where eta euros trade-s going. She took the spear. A circumflex euros, oh watch. Lena stepped into the water. She stood perfectly still. Seconds passed. Thena euros. Thrust, she lifted the spear. A silver fish wriggled on the tip. Evan stared. A circumflex euros, oh you are euros trade v done this before. A circumflex euros, oh no. She smiled. A circumflex euros, oh physics. He laughed for the first time since the crash. Maybe a euros. Just maybe a euros. They could actually survive this. But what neither of them realized yet a euros was that surviving together would become the easiest part. The hard part would come later, when rescue finally arrived, and Lena Hartwell would ask him something that would change both their lives forever. The first time Lena almost died on the island of euros. It wasn't a euros trade to the crash. It was day 9, and Evan was the reason she survived. The morning started quietly, too quietly. Evan noticed it the moment he stepped outside their shelter. No birds, no insects, just a heavy silence hanging over the jungle. Storm coming, he thought. Lena emerged behind him carrying the fishing spear. A circumflex euros, oh you look like you swallowed a bad idea, she said. A circumflex euros, oh something a euros trade-s off. She listened. The jungle answered with nothing. A circumflex euros, oh storm maybe, she said. A circumflex euros, oh maybe. But Ivana, euros trade-s instincts from his reserve training, whispered something else. Animals went quiet when something larger was nearby, something dangerous. He shook the thought away. Paranoia was a luxury starving people couldn't a euros trade t afford. A circumflex euros, oh food first, Lena said. A circumflex euros, oh then we reinforce the shelter before the rain hits. Fishing had become their routine. Lena had the better aim. Evan had the patience. Together they managed 3 small fish before the sun climbed high enough to turn the water into liquid glass. They carried the catch back toward their shelter through the jungle path Thea euros trade d worn down over the past week. That was when Lena stopped walking. A circumflex euros, oh what is that? Evan followed her gaze. Mud, fresh mud where the ground had been dry yesterday. Large tracks cut through it. Hooves. A circumflex euros, oh boar, Evan said quietly. A circumflex euros, oh how big. A circumflex euros, oh big enough. They both turned slowly. Wild boars were na euros trade t just animals. They were tanks with teeth. And Thea euros trade d just discovered something important. Food. Their food. A circumflex euros, oh great, Lena muttered. A circumflex euros, oh add that to the list. A circumflex euros, oh what list? A circumflex euros, oh things on this island trying to kill us. Evan chuckled. A circumflex euros, oh fair. The storm hit that afternoon, harder than anything Thea euros trade d seen yet. Rain slammed against the jungle canopy like a wall of water. Wind bent palm trees until they groaned. Inside the rock shelter, Evan and Lena scrambled to move supplies farther from the entrance. Water flooded the ground outside. A circumflex euros o signal fire a euros trade s gone, Lena said grimly. A circumflex euros o we euros trade ll rebuild it. A circumflex euros o we euros trade v, rebuilt it 3 times already. A circumflex euros o and we euros trade ll rebuild it again. A circumflex euros. She looked at him sharply. A circumflex euros o euros trade re ridiculously optimistic. A circumflex euros oh no. Evan tightened the sling around his shoulder. A circumflex euros o euros trade stubborn. The storm lasted 4 hours. When it finally passed, the island looked like a different world. Branches everywhere. Leaves scattered across the jungle floor. Pools of fresh rainwater collected in rock basins. A circumflex euros o storm buffet, Evan said. Lena raised an eyebrow. A circumflex euros o what? A circumflex euros o storms knock food down. They spent the next hour collecting what they could. Breadfruit, coconuts, roots exposed by the rain. It wasn't a euros trade tea a feast, but it was enough, until they heard the screaming, high-pitched, angry, furious. A circumflex euros o boar, Lena whispered. The sound came from deeper in the jungle. Then the bushes exploded. A massive wild pig burst into the clearing. It froze when it saw them, muscles thick, tusks curved, eyes wild. Evan felt his stomach drop. A circumflex euros o dona euros trade t run, he whispered. A circumflex euros o why? A circumflex euros o, because then it chases. A circumflex euros o fantastic. The boar snorted, then charged. A circumflex euros o run. Evan shouted. They sprinted in opposite directions instinctively. The animal thundered after Lena. A circumflex euros o hey. Evan grabbed the spear and ran straight at the boar. It turned. That hesitation saved her life. The animal barreled toward Evan now. 30 feet, 20, 10. Evan planted his feet and threw. The spear struck the boar a euros trade s shoulder, not deep enough. The animal screamed and crashed into him like a truck. Evan slammed into the mud. Air exploded from his lungs. The boar wheeled around again, tusks lowered. A circumflex euros o Evan. Lena grabbed a heavy rock and sprinted forward. She hurled it with everything she had. Crack. The rock struck the boar a euros trade s skull. It staggered. That moment was enough. Evan scrambled backward. The wounded animal bolted into the jungle. Gone. Silence returned. Evan collapsed on the ground, breathing hard. Lena dropped beside him. A circumflex euros oh you idiot. A circumflex euros, she gasped. A circumflex euros oh you ran toward it. A circumflex euros oh you were in the way. A circumflex euros oh you coulda euros trade v died. He laughed weakly. A circumflex euros oh so could you. A circumflex euros. For a moment neither of them spoke. Rainwater dripped from the trees. Lena suddenly shoved his shoulder. A circumflex euros oh you absolute idiot. A circumflex euros oh. A circumflex euros oh that was reckless. A circumflex euros oh you euros trade re-welcome. She stared at him. Something in her expression shifted. Not anger, something deeper. A circumflex euros oh you risked your life. Evan shrugged. A circumflex euros oh we euros trade re-partners. A circumflex euros oh thought a euros trade s not what I mean. He looked at her. A circumflex euros oh what do you mean? Lena opened her mouth, then closed it again. A circumflex euros oh nothing. But Evan saw it. The moment something inside her walls cracked. That night they sat beside the fire eating roasted breadfruit. The jungle felt different now. Closer. More dangerous. A circumflex euros oh you saved me today, Lena said suddenly. A circumflex euros oh you hit it with the rock. A circumflex euros oh that was luck. A circumflex euros O still counts. She stared into the flames. A circumflex euros Oh, you know what scares me the most. A circumflex euros. A circumflex euros Oh, what? A circumflex euros Oh, that we might actually survive this. Evan blinked. A circumflex euros Oh, thought a euro strayed s the goal. A circumflex euros Oh no. Her voice softened. A circumflex euros Oh, the goal was getting back to our lives. A circumflex euros. A circumflex euros O and a circumflex euros O and now TMM, not sure I want my old life back. Evan leaned forward. A circumflex euros O, what does that mean? Lena laughed quietly. A circumflex euros O, a month ago I ran a billion-dollar company. A circumflex euros O and now. A circumflex euros Oh, now I spend my days chasing fish and fighting pigs. A circumflex euros Oh, big career pivot. She smiled. A circumflex euros Oh, but I a euros trade V never felt more a euros real. Evan understood. On the island there were no titles, no meetings, no power structures, just survival, just truth. A circumflex euros Oh, you know what I think, he said. A circumflex euros Oh, what? A circumflex euros Oh, I think we forgot who we were before our jobs. A circumflex euros. A circumflex euros Oh, and the island reminded us. A circumflex euros Oh, exactly. She studied him carefully. A circumflex euros Oh, you are euros trade re not the same man who got on that plane. A circumflex euros Oh no. A circumflex euros Oh better. A circumflex euros Oh different. She nodded slowly. A circumflex euros Oh same. Later that night Lena woke him. A circumflex euros Oh, your turn to watch. Evan took the spear and sat near the cave entrance. The fire flickered softly. The ocean whispered beyond the jungle. Behind him, Lena shifted in her sleep. For the first time since the crash of euros. Evan realized something. He trusted her. Completely. The CEO who once terrified him in meetings of euros had become the one person on Earth he could rely on. That realization felt strange, but also right. He stared out into the darkness. A circumflex euros Oh, hang in there, Maya. A circumflex euros, he whispered quietly. A circumflex euros Oh, a euros trade s coming home. Behind him, Lena stirred. A circumflex euros Oh, you talk to her in your sleep sometimes. Evan turned. A circumflex euros Oh, you were awake. A circumflex euros Oh, for a minute. She sat up slowly. A circumflex euros Oh, you really love her. A circumflex euros Oh, more than anything. A circumflex euros. Lena nodded. A circumflex euros Oh, thought a euros trade s. Why you are euros trade re going to make it off this island? Evan tilted his head. A circumflex euros Oh, what about you? A circumflex euros. She looked out toward the horizon. A circumflex euros Oh, honestly. A circumflex euros Oh, yeah. A circumflex euros Oh, I a euros trade am starting to think I might not want to leave. A circumflex euros. Evan laughed softly. A circumflex euros Oh, you will. A circumflex euros Oh, why? A circumflex euros Oh, because if you stayed here forever a euros. He poked the fire. A circumflex euros a euros you are euros trade d never get the chance to ask me that question. A circumflex euros. A circumflex euros Oh, what question? A circumflex euros. Evan looked up. A circumflex euros Oh, the one I can tell you are euros trade re already thinking about. A circumflex euros. Lena stared at him. For Antia euros. The fearless CEO looked completely caught off guard. A circumflex euros Oh, what question is that? She asked quietly. Evan smiled. A circumflex euros Oh, you are euros trade LL ask it when rescue finally comes. And deep down a euros. They both already knew. It would be the hardest question either of them had ever faced. The radio crackled just after sunrise on day 22. Evan almost dropped the screwdriver. For 3 weeks he had listened to nothing but static. Static while he cleaned the circuits. Static while he rewired the power supply. Static while Lena joked that he was building the world a Eurotrade's most expensive paperweight. Now the sound was different. A voice. A circumflex euros, euros, repeat euros, unidentified servivorsa euros respond. If you can hear this transmission euros. Evan froze. A circumflex euros Lena. She came running from the beach, still holding the fishing spear. A circumflex euros what happened? A circumflex euros the radio. Another burst of static. A circumflex euros, euros, this is United States Coast Guard. Cutter steadfasta euros, responding to emergency signala euros, repeata euros. Lena grabbed Ivana Eurostrade's arm so hard it hurt. A circumflex euros, answer them. His hands trembled as he pressed the transmit button. A circumflex euros, this is Evan Cole, he said into the microphone. A circumflex euros, we can hear you. We Eurostrade re-survivors from Flight 227, 2 people alive, please respond. The radio went silent for 3 terrifying seconds. Thena euros. A circumflex euros, copy that, Mr. Cole. Lena gasped. A circumflex euros, repeat. Did you say 2 survivors from Flight 227? A circumflex euros. A circumflex euros, yes, Evan said, voice shaking. A circumflex euros, 2 survivors, Evan Cole and Lena Hartwell. A pause filled with distant static. Then the calm voice returned. A circumflex euros, Mr. Cole, we Eurostrade V been searching this region for several days after intercepting a weak emergency signal. Can you provide any identifying landmarks? A circumflex euros. Evan looked at Lena. She understood instantly. A circumflex euros, volcanic island, she said quickly. A circumflex euros, approximately 3 miles long, dense jungle. We built a 50-foot SOS signal on the beach. Evan repeated the details into the radio. The voice disappeared again. Those seconds stretched forever. Lena squeezed his hand. A circumflex euros, come on euros, come on euros. Finally the radio crackled back to life. A circumflex euros, Mr. Kalia euros, we believe we have your location. The steadfast is approximately 30 nautical miles from your position. Ivana Eurostrade's knees almost gave out. A circumflex euros, how long? A circumflex euros, with current weather conditions, euros 4 to 6 hours. A circumflex euros. Lena laughed, a broken, disbelieving laugh. A circumflex euros, Thea Eurostrade re-coming, she whispered. A circumflex euros, Thea Eurostrade re-actually coming. The storm arrived an hour later. Rain slammed the island like falling concrete. Wind howled through the jungle. Evan and Lena fed the signal fire again and again, shielding it from the rain with their bodies. A circumflex euros, dona Eurostrade T, let it die, Lena shouted over the storm. A circumflex euros, Ia Eurostrade M trying. Thunder cracked so close the ground shook. Then through the rain Evan heard something new. Engines, low, heavy. A circumflex euros, Lena, he said. She looked up. Out beyond the crashing waves, cutting through the storm, was a white ship. Coast Guard markings shone against the gray ocean. Lena grabbed Ivana Eurostrade's arm. A circumflex euros, they came. A circumflex euros. Even in the storm of euros. They came. A smaller rescue boat launched from the ship. Minutes later the crew reached the beach. Strong hands pulled Evan into the inflatable boat. Another rescuer wrapped Lena in a thermal blanket. A circumflex euros, are you two the survivors? A circumflex euros, one of them shouted. A circumflex euros, yes. A circumflex euros, Evan managed. A circumflex euros, just us. As the boat pulled away from the island, Evan looked back. The shelter, the jungle, the signal fire still burning in the rain, 3 weeks of survival shrinking into the distance. A circumflex euros, oh goodbye, he whispered. 2 days later they docked in Honolulu. The harbor was chaos, reporters, officials, cameras everywhere. But Evan saw only one person. A circumflex euros, oh Maya. His daughter broke free from his sister, a euros trade-s grip, and ran straight into his arms. A circumflex euros, oh daddy. He lifted her despite the pain in his shoulder. A circumflex euros, oh I thought you were dead, she cried. A circumflex euros, oh I know, he whispered. A circumflex euros, oh but I promised you something, remember. She nodded through tears. A circumflex euros, oh you always come home. A circumflex euros, oh thought a euros trade-s right. He held her tighter. A circumflex euros, oh I always come home. Later that evening Evan found Lena standing alone on the hospital balcony overlooking the ocean. She looked different, clean clothes, hair brushed, but the island was still there in her eyes. A circumflex euros, oh you disappeared, Evan said. She smiled faintly. A circumflex euros, oh I needed quiet. They stood side by side watching the waves. Finally Lena spoke. A circumflex euros, oh when the rescue boat Camia euros. She hesitated. A circumflex euros, oh I almost asked you something. A circumflex euros. Evan raised an eyebrow. A circumflex euros, oh what stopped you? A circumflex euros, oh fear. A circumflex euros, oh thought a euros trade-s new. She laughed softly. A circumflex euros, oh yes, it is. A circumflex euros. The wind lifted her hair. A circumflex euros, oh on the island, she said. A circumflex euros, oh everything was simple. A circumflex euros, oh survive. A circumflex euros, oh exactly. A circumflex euros, oh but the real world is complicated again. A circumflex euros. Evan leaned against the railing. A circumflex euros, oh what was the question? Lena turned to him. For a moment the powerful CEO vanished. She looked exactly like the woman who had stood barefoot beside him in the sand. A circumflex euros, oh when the rescue boat Camessa euros, she said quietly. A circumflex euros, ea euros would you stay? A circumflex euros. Evan smiled. A circumflex euros, oh that question again. A circumflex euros. A circumflex euros, oh yes. He didn't a euros trade T answer immediately. Instead he reached into his pocket and pulled out a small object, a crumpled drawing. May a euros trade S volcano project sketch. He euros trade D carried it through the crash, through the island, through everything. A circumflex euros, oh my daughter needs me, he said gently. A circumflex euros, oh I know. A circumflex euros, oh buta euros. He folded the drawing carefully. A circumflex euros, oh, I never said I wouldn't a euros trade T come back. Lena stared at him. A circumflex euros, oh you a euros trade D visit. A circumflex euros, oh friends do that. The tension in her shoulders finally broke. She laughed. A circumflex euros, oh you a euros trade re impossible. A circumflex euros, oh probably. They stood there in comfortable silence, the same silence they had shared beside their signal fire, except now the ocean no longer felt like a prison. It felt like distance already traveled. 6 months later, Evan stood on a stage speaking to a room full of disaster survivors, families, rescuers, people who had lived through the worst days of their lives. A circumflex euros, oh survival isna euros trade T about strength, he told them. A circumflex euros, o eta euros trade S, about refusing to face the storm alone. In the back row sat Lena. Beside her was Maya, proudly wearing a tiny badge that read Junior Scientist. When the speech ended, Maya ran up to him. A circumflex euros, oh you were awesome, Dad. A circumflex euros, oh thank you, Professor. A circumflex euros. She pointed to Lena. A circumflex euros, oh, she came to every speech this week. Evan looked at Lena. A circumflex euros, oh, really? She shrugged. A circumflex euros, oh, someone has to make sure you don't a euros trade T say anything embarrassing. Maya grabbed both their hands. A circumflex euros, oh, can we get ice cream now? Evan laughed. A circumflex euros, oh, thought a euros trade as a yes. A circumflex euros. They walked down the street together. Three people who would have never met if a plane hadn't a euros trade T fallen from the sky. Lena glanced at Evan. A circumflex euros, oh, you know something strange. A circumflex euros, oh, what? A circumflex euros, oh, if that crash never happened at a euros. A circumflex euros, oh, we euros trade D never have become friends. She nodded. A circumflex euros, oh, and that would a euros trade V been a shame. Evan squeezed Maya euros trade S hand. Some disasters take everything, but sometimes a euros. They give something back, something unexpected. Because some promises don't a euros trade TN when the storm is over. Some promises simply change shape. He stayed, and that changed everything.